today's session. Today we are going to discuss about the predefined groups of accounts in Tally. So let me start the session. There are 28 predefined groups in Tally ERP9. Means in Tally ERP9 there are 28 predefined accounting groups. So out of these, 15 groups are primary groups and remaining 13 are subgroups. Means in this 28 predefined groups includes means we divided this 28 subgroups as a 15 groups as a, we considered as a primary group, and remaining 13 groups we considered as a subgroups. Among these 15 groups, means among these 15 groups, 9 groups are completely related to the balance sheet items, and remaining 6 groups are profit and loss account. Means that 6 groups is completely related to the profit and loss account items. So let me discuss that predefined groups. First one is capital account. Means under this capital account is completely we will record the information about the capital of the company. If it is a company, so we have to provide the information about the equity shares as well as preference shares. And if it is a partnership firm, so we will give the means we will record in this ledger account the each uh, capital invested by the each and every partners. And if it is a sole trading concern, we will record the investment under this account or under this ledger account. So listen guys, the capital account is a primary group. Under that retained earnings is there, it is subgroups. Okay, retained earnings includes all kind of, means in retained earnings we will record all kind of reserves, provisions, and profit and loss account. Means profit and security premium we will record under the retained earnings. Next one is a current asset. It is a primary group under the current asset. For current assets, so bank account they given, or bank account is there. Bank account is a subgroup of current asset. Bank account includes here we will consider only a savings bank account as well as current account we considered as a bank accounts. Here we will never consider bank overdraft or any loans and advances. So bank accounts means only the savings bank account as well as current accounts created by company or company employees. Next one is cash in hand. So cash in hand means current availability, immediate availability of cash in the hand, hard cash available in the company or in bank. Next one is deposits. Deposits they given under the current asset, means whatever the deposits made by the company, so that entire things is comes under the deposits only. The example for the deposits is fixed deposit, a recurring deposit, and securities deposit, etc. So these are all. Next one is loans and advances. So here the two types of loans advances we can see. The one loans and advances appears in current asset, another one loans and advances appears in the liability side. Whenever it appears in the asset side, means the loans and advances given by the company to others, either it may be their employees, either it may be their suppliers. So it is asset because they are already given, in future they will receive the benefit or get back the money. Next one is stock in hand. Stock in hand includes the opening stock, closing stock, and stock in progress, finished goods, finished stock, and all. Next, sundry debtors. Sundry debtors means they are the customers, they receive the goods from the company at the credit basis. So we will they have to give the amount to the company. Next group is current liabilities. Current liability means the liabilities of a company, they have to pay, means they have to fulfill those obligations within the 1 year. And that first one is duties and taxes. Taxes and duties means is taxes, either it may be GST or any custom tax, etc. Provisions. So provisions is created by company out of their profits to fulfill certain expenses. For example, provision for depreciation means that provision is created for depreciation only. Provision for taxation, so for paying a tax only they created some provisions at the time of tax paying, so they will utilize those provisions. Next one is sundry creditors. Sundry creditors are the suppliers, they supply the goods to the company at credit basis, we need to pay the settlement. Means sundry creditors normally comes under the current liabilities, means within the 1 year we have to fulfill the obligation, and the obligation means we need to pay the consideration. Means pay the consideration means how much we purchase the goods and how much the amount payable. Next one is fixed asset, that is fourth group is the main primary group of primary accounting group. And next one is investment. Here fixed assets means example for the fixed assets is building, machinery, land, furnitures, etc. Next one is investment. Investment means so it is comes under the asset sides. Investment, whatever the investments made by the company is comes under the investment. For example, company may invest their profits in different source. For example, if they invested in shares, if they invested in debentures, so that amount we will treat as an investment. If company received the investments from the other company, it's called as capital. If company invested in others company, if company invested the money in others company, so it will consider as a investment. Next one is loans. Loans in bracket they given liability, they clearly mentioned. So in last slide we seen the same thing, that is loans and advances under the asset side, means that loans and advances given by company to others, to others means whether it is their employees or whether it is other companies. So here the loans is appears, means in bracket they given liability means the loans and advances received by the company from the outers. For example, if we receive the loan from the bank, so then we will treat is a liability because it is an obligation of company. In future company they have to pay the amount along with interest to the bank. Next one is bank overdraft. I think all of you know this bank overdraft. The bank overdraft is an overdrawing of money. So normally this future this option given by the current account holders, so means it means they can withdraw the money more than their account balance. For that for example, if the company or any person having the cash balance of 10,000, if they are having a BOD means bank overdraft, they can withdraw the 15,000 also. For that excess of 5,000, how much they received the extra, for that they have to pay the interest. Next one is secured loans. Secured loans also comes under the liability side. So secured loans is normally the loan received by the bankers, debentures, these are all comes under the secured loans. Unsecured loans unsecured loans also means other than the bank or loans received. Yes, unsecured loans means the loans received from the outside parties, directors, friends, relatives, without collateral security, means without providing any securities. Next one, that is suspense account. The suspense account means under this is primary group, it appears in the balance sheet. Means normally when we create this suspense account means sometimes this ledger we will record the money paid or received whose details are not yet known. Means this suspense account, sometimes we need to pay the sometimes we have to pay the cash and we will receive the cash. Means the person, if the company don't know about those person details on that time, they will record those transactions in those transactions under the suspense account. After the means later on they will post those transactions in appropriate accounts, whether if it is a cash received or paid, then it will move on to the concerned account. Next one is miscellaneous expenses. Miscellaneous expenses account we will consider as a assets. So miscellaneous accounts examples are preliminary expenses, deferred advertisement expenses. These are all comes under the miscellaneous expenses. So miscellaneous expenses means sometimes company may incur the huge kind of expenses, and that time company cannot able to recover those expenses at a one financial year on that time, so they will carry those expenses for some years. So whatever those expenses they will return off, so that amount we will consider as a miscellaneous expenses. Next one is branches or divisions. So this ledger says completely talks about the whatever the branches having by the company or divisions or any affiliate or any sister concerns or subsidiary groups, etc. Next one is sales account. So this under this ledger account we will record the sales and purchases account. Here we will record the information about the purchases. And direct incomes. Direct incomes means whatever the income we will receiving from the main operation. For example, if the manufacturing company, if one manufacturing company is producing the one particular product, whatever the profits received by the company by selling of those product or services, so that profit we will treat as a direct income. So indirect income, suppose a product manufacturing company, they receive the profit through the selling of their products, it comes under direct income. Suppose if they received income from other than the selling of products or service, for example somewhere they invested their profits in shares and debentures, over there they will receive the dividend, they will receive the interest. So those interest or dividends is comes under the indirect incomes. So direct expenses, whatever the expenses incurred for produce a product or services, those comes under the direct expenses. Indirect expenses, whatever uh, the expenses made by the company not for production, for example marketing expenses and other advertisement expenses, these are all comes under the indirect expenses. And this what the information about the accounting groups in Tally. Thank you guys, go through this information.